Good morning, traders. How's everybody doing today? Let's give everybody a chance to log in here. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Hope you guys are having a great day, great morning. Got yourself a tea, a coffee, or whatever it gets you going in the morning. Feeling stronger by the day, Phil. Every day, stronger. Went to the gym not yesterday, but the day before, and gonna go again today and do some cardio and doing great. Yep, no problem, Brian. I'll get you guys the notes from yesterday. It's not a problem at all. First, I want to welcome anybody that wasn't here yesterday. Yesterday we had a pretty big day. Went through everything on the education side. Today, I just want to focus more on the trading side. I want to talk more just about how the system works and just how we can really use it to make a lot of money and just kind of make it easy for everybody to understand that this is an incredible opportunity for you guys to pursue. Should you be looking for something to be a little easier, a little bit more reliable for your trading. And yeah, so ultimately, give everybody a chance to kind of come in here. We still got a few people. Jason's joining us here today too. So if you need anything from him, he can also reach out and help you on the sales side, on the question side. And I'm going to check and see if I've got Jeff Z in the house here. I've got Burzen's here. Good morning, Burzen. Big day for Burzen. Burzen is our algo quant educator, and him and Jeff have been working with our team for over a month now, getting that ready. It's a big afternoon for everybody that doesn't know what's happening here today. Jeff, I'm going to add you as a panelist here just in case, but I don't think there'll be a need for much on your side today. Great. All right, you're good. Muted mic's good. Okay, today we're going to do the second day of the workshop, guys. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to be looking at the HATT Signal System. Just need to mention that we did all the education yesterday. So what I'm going to do right now is give you guys the notes that we took. So these are the notes. Okay. And actually, before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put at the top the opportunity to take advantage of the sale. Okay. There's no need for a coupon for this because we've already reduced the price on the order form. For those of you that are interested, there's a tool that you guys can take advantage of, and I promise you this is going to be there's no coupon needed, and we've dropped the price drastically for this. If you're looking at following along and doing this, I'm going to put this as well inside of the chat box just so that you guys have it for if you have to leave early or anything like that. It's always good to just get you the things that you need before we leave. There's the notes on the system and everything that we've done. I've put the link for the product there, which will bring you to the discount page. And there's nothing much to it. It's a strategy that I've been trading with extreme success, and we're going to be bringing this into both ATS programs and AQS programs. The AQS program launches this afternoon, and you can use the Tickblaze web for this, but the actual signal system is built on the desktop just due to the sheer nature of how the platforms are coded and all that fun stuff. Anyways, I'm going to go into the disclaimer. We're going to get started now. So if you can do me a favor and just read this and understand that there are risks in the business, right? And, the risks are, I can't guarantee anything, right? I'm not a magician. I'm not a Houdini, right? So if you're going to be placing risk capital in the market, know that you're doing it at your own discretion, right? It's some risk in the markets. You could lose some money, you could lose a lot of money. And I can't guarantee the future performance of anything, but I can show you what I can did in the past, but it doesn't guarantee you anything in the future. Please type a Y in the chat box. You agree to the disclaimer. We can move forward like professionals. You guys understand, accept the regulatory requirements for that. We can get going on today's session. Fantastic. I'll just give you my desktop, Kenneth. And how's that? Maybe I can just give you my desktop, Kenneth, since you purchase it and you don't have it all in one down. I will give you my desktop, and then you can install my desktop, and that might be the issue. Might be you need to update your build. We put out a big build. Jeff Zimmerman, can you make sure that the new build is out for everybody? Because if they're going to be using this tool, they're going to need the new build, right? That's the
It
most
should
important
be
part.
out today. I think it's coming out today. So
That's probably why you're having that's probably why you're having an issue with it, Kenneth. Just due to the fact that we didn't expect everybody to have it until today. So
it was supposed to come out late last night, but I think they had to do a few more things. It's coming out today.
Sure. We'll get you guys a new build. Just make sure that you understand that the new build required changes to be able to make the system run. So, yeah, not a problem, guys. It's always good to know that. But all right. So, first of all, let's just get into this. And I have got a 2 minute chart, right, for the scalpers out there. 1 minute's a bit too fast for my blood. We're still on, you know, opening range, right? And we've had a couple minutes since the opening range. Got a 5 minute that's going on here. 5 minutes not going to give us a signal. Trend is up. Okay. This is the overnight session. You can take a look at the trades that we had in the overnight. All of them hit targets. Like every single one of them since the crossover here. I don't trade this time. Like I said, this is the wrong time to trade in, and I never see the strategy make any money here. Like it's not meant to be traded right off the Globex. There's not enough volume. There's not enough movement. There's not enough anything. But you get into the European Open, you get into the overnight session where the big boys start trading in the overnight. Look at big trade here, big trade here, big trade here, big trade here. Literally in the pre-market this morning at 5:40 my time, which is 8:40. So that's just after the news probably we had this morning, right? You look at the Heiken Ashi candles on the 15-minute chart, and Heiken Ashi is just starting to play out, right? The first signal was here. You would have hit targets. It drove all the way up on the open. Both signals hit, right? And I got stopped out yesterday on the trade I took, right? So there was it didn't give me the full follow through. I did not take the second trade because I don't take usually the second trade on the 15 minute. I only take the first one in the day. But the 5 minute yesterday worked extremely well. And there was a huge short coming into the morning after our class. If you remember, here was the two longs, and then it came in and they gave the base hit here. You could have taken a decent little target on that, but then you would have had to manage your risks tight. But then look at the short that came right after for the morning that happened just after our class yesterday. There's a huge short on the 5 minute, just worked incredibly well. So, like I said, we're going to look here. Unfortunately, I don't know what this is set to. 5, yeah. So we did not get a deep enough pullback for this to count on the 2 minute. Do you see that? It did not come down deep enough. It was not a deep enough pullback, right? And I'm just going to do one little quick study here. I'm just going to open up a desktop for a second. I just need to see the opening range for my own sanity here. I've got a load of workspace. I'm going to probe. Where's the probe? Probe. Probe rotation. I just want to see I just need to see something. I'm going to be teaching you guys this here shortly, but I need to understand the daily ATR is 2,500 ticks. We're going to watch this candle on the 15 minutes. I'll tell you about this candle here in another time, but I just need to understand this first 15-minute candle before we do anything major for the day. And it's going to wait for that first 15-minute candle to close. That'll tell me everything for what's about to happen in the day. We'll talk about that in a second. I think they're not done running, so we're going to wait. We got 5 minutes in no position. I think the 5 minutes coming down, the 5 minutes probably going to test lower. Why? I think they're going to come and grab this liquidity on this low before they decide to do anything. And the first 5-10 minutes is past. We're now moving into the 15-minute environment. There's support here, guys. There's support down here. There's liquidity down here, right on those lows, right? Right down here off the Globex low. There's a big chance they're going to try to sweep the Globex low in an uptrend, take that liquidity, and then we're going to wait. Why? Because it's pretty good spread across these EMAs, right? Those EMAs are pretty strong across those. Like there's a pretty strong trend happening here right now. On the 2 minute, right? We just crossed over. I think they're going to sweep the lows, give us some reason to see something like that, and then we'll see. Remember, when you scalp and you do things like this, it's you can look at the ATR for stops. So if you're looking down here, the ATR is set to ticks. Why? Because when you use the risk and reward function in the platform, it's measured in ticks, so it's easier for me to determine that, right? And remember, the 2 minute is a scalping time frame, the 5 minute is a day trading time frame, and the 15 minute is an intraday swing trade. And the 15-minute signal is the bigger move for the day if you can catch it, depending on how much follow through you get in the market. Yeah, I think they're going to drive this down. And what's 20% of 2,500? Let's just calculate that. 500 ticks. So we're going to see what's 500 ticks from the high. Ruler. Ticks 500 right here. I just need to see how big 500 ticks is from the high. Yeah, right there. So we can see what they're going to do here. They're probing it down. That's what we want. We want to see them probe it down. Why? I need them to get to an oversold position. We are trending to the upside. They're driving it down on purpose. They need fuel. If they're going to go higher, remember this, to go higher, you must go lower first. It's just common sense. Why? You need orders to lift the market. You need orders to lift the market. Same thing on the 5 minute. See here, we had a little bit of a pullback off the open. They swept the highs of the overnights. That was the overnight high right there. This is the overnight low down here. So there's a good chance they could drive it down. We'll see what happens. Just waiting for the software to generate a signal, right? Why? Because it's the way we built it. So you don't have to do anything. Just wait for the buy signal. Then that's when you enter. Super easy. Super easy peasy. And this is where the reason I don't have this set to a 3, right? And buy this blue candle, and then you get false signals, right? You don't want to use too small of an RSI setting on a smaller time frame, because if you use a too small of an RSI setting, you're going to get stopped out a lot because you're going to think every single move is the pullback, and it's not the pullback, right? Let's just measure 500 ticks to here. We're just going to wait. Remember what the signal is designed to do. It's designed. We are still overbought technically on the higher time frame on the 15-minute, but look at the strength of the 15-minute trend. Like that 15-minute trend is big, right? So they need fuel. If they're going back up, they need fuel, right? There's the first 15-minute candle. Let's just see what that looks like on the other chart. Yeah, that's a big bar, 500 ticks. I'm expecting them to sweep the lows and then trade back up. I'm expecting this. So we will see it. I'm going to draw a box around that. That's the opening 15-minute range right there. Okay. Why is that important? Well, because, well, it just is. So we're going to watch and see how that comes in and probes up. I'm going to wait on the 5-minute. I think we're going to get a signal on the 5-minute. They're going to smoke it down, give me an oversold position, and then we're going to sweep the lows here. Okay. And down here, there's liquidity here and here, right? Between the lows. So there has to get something. They have to grab something if they're going to continue the uptrend. We will get the signal on the 2-minute. We will get they're trying to break out of the 15-minute range right now. But because of the size of that 15-minute range, I don't think that this is a breakout day. I think they're going to come in, sweep the low, and then suck it back all the way up and go higher. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do know that it's possible that that's the likelihood of what's going to happen here. I want to really see it on the 5 minute. I want to see it come down just a bit further. I think I would like to see them sweep these lows here. I would no, I really would like to see them sweep these lows. Why? Because I think the market needs fuel to go higher, especially, right? Exactly. But they need to come down and probe these levels here and here, and they need to sweep it down, right? Yeah, it's all five. I have it set to five. I have it set to five here, five, right? And everything's set to a five period for me. Five. And then on the 15, this is going to be set to three. This should be set to three. Should be set to three. Yeah, right there. It's a good thing you remember to tell me that. Five, five, and three. So they just swept the first level. They just took liquidity there. But we don't have a signal on the 5 minute yet. We need to get oversold. We are not oversold yet. We did not. That is not a deep enough pullback for us to assume there is an entry, but it is on the 2 minute. It is on the 2 minute for the scalpers out there. You just got to be careful those emos don't cross. There's more liquidity down here still. Absolutely. And I'm not really a 2 minute trader. I don't trade the 2 minute that much, guys. Like I said, my go-to time frames are the 5 and the 15. Why is that? Why do I trade the 5 and the 15? You guys tell me this. Why did I say that? Less noise, bigger moves. Yeah, you guys nailed it. Less noise, bigger moves. Yeah. We need that 5 minute to probe down further. Like I said, this candle here was a big bar, right? And what's going to happen is normally what happens is that depending on how big that opening range is, will determine whether this is a probe and rotation candle. And if it's a probe and rotation candle, then they're going to sweep below. And then what ends up happening is it takes time for them to come back down and then rotate back up and trade all the way up to the highs, right? So I think they're if the market's going to do what I'm anticipating it to do, there's still a big level on the Globex low that's very close. If they're going to trade this low to the Globex low, most likely the big boys know there's stop losses down here, right? So if the market can't get up from this lift, if it lifts here, fine, we get it. We move up. But if it doesn't, you guys understand what I'm trying to get at, right? They need fuel, right? So we will get a long signal here if this candle turns blue, right? We will get a long signal on the 5 minute if this candle turns blue. Why? Because we just came oversold. So now if this candle turns blue, this will give us the buy signal to trade back up to the highs on the 5 minute. We're going to watch and see. We got another 5 more minutes to go until that candle closes. They don't have to sweep the Globex low. They swept the lows on those two structure levels, which is there could be enough liquidity there for the market to move up. I just think that we will see. We will see. The 2 minute most likely won't give us the trade, depending on how these candles close and that EMA closes. It's yeah, probably not. You see how the EMAs are closing and that EMA is crossing right here? So I'm not, yeah, Heiken Ashi, you're not going to use the bar timer on the Heiken Ashi. It's not set up for that. Mhm. But if this candle closes blue, you're going to get the buy signal here. You could take it on the 2 minute if you wanted to. What's the stop loss? But I just said the 2 minutes more aggressive, right? So let's say that candle's going to close somewhere around here, maybe, right? You got 192 ticks. So 400 ticks would be your stop, which is 2 times the ATR. right? That's the way I normally do it. 2 times the ATR is like that, or you can go like that and maybe wait for a little bit of a better pullback. So we'll wait and see what that candle does. Give it a second here. No signal. You see that? No signal because the EMA crossed. And I said that we're most likely going to get an EMA cross. I said I don't trade the 2 minute, but I was prepping you there for it if it happened, right? No signal. The system will not give you a signal if those EMAs cross against you. Now, if you had a different EMA setting, right, that would give you a buy signal, depending on how you set them. I have it all set the same at my EMA settings are, 15 and 100, but you could do bigger settings, like 40 and a 10 and a 50. But I don't have that set that way. I'm waiting for this signal here, the 5 minute. I'm waiting for the 5 minute. And the reason I'm waiting for that 5 minute, because I have an anticipation that they swept out here and they're going to close back inside this opening range and drive all the way up to the highs. That's just what I'm thinking. Two minutes until we get a trade here on the 5 minute chart. We better start prepping that stop loss. If this turns blue, right? If the candle turns blue, 200 ticks, so 400 ticks. About one more minute until we get a trade here. If this turns blue, if this stays white, we have no trade. If this turns blue, we have a trade. Makes sense? We'll see how it wants to unfold. How's that 15-minute candle looking? Yeah, they pushing a lot of liquidity off those lows. But the 15 minutes still pretty oversold, overbought. That doesn't mean it can't keep trading higher and higher and higher. You can see when a 15-minute can get above and stay above for a long time. Just because we're overbought on the 15-minute doesn't mean we're not going to keep going higher and higher and higher and higher, right? That's not how this works. Oscillators don't just work like that all the time, right? So it's good to just remember that. You remember the smaller time frame drives the bigger time frame. The bigger time frame levels matter more, but the smaller time frame's activity will shape the movement on the 15-minute chart. A lot of people get confused about that. See, no buy signal yet. No buy signal yet. Yeah, I think they're going to come in and they're going to take above, and we still need a candle movement in here. We still need to drop this down now to a 5 minute. Yeah, we haven't had a higher close or nothing. Still, they're coming down. I think they're going to drive a bit lower still till we get an up close on a 5 minute chart. You can see that on the Heiken Ashi, but I still think they're coming lower, guys. I said they're going to try to sweep the lows of the overnight session, bring everybody in for that ride. And yeah, we'll see. And then on the other side, they might just start trending down for all we know, right? It could be a breakout to the downside. They want to start trending down. And the indicators will tell us that, right? The software will tell us this. We're not here trying to trade a whole bunch of false signals, right? We're here to, and if you look, you say, oh, well, we're going to get a signal here, take a short. No, we're not oversold. This is not a pullback trade. This is not a pullback trade. This is just a rotation off the open still. No, Daniel, I would just use a micro. Like, yeah, you can use an ES, RTY. The system works on every freaking market. Doesn't matter what market you trade it on. We are going to watch them trade this and we are going to wait. Patience is a virtue. I heard a monk say that once somewhere in a video long, many moons ago. Patience is what makes you better at everything in life, not just trading. 15-minute still has to come down a bit. I think they're going to sweep the glow back slow. We'll have to see what they're going to do here. And if they decide to all start trending down, we'll have to see what happens. Taking the support level here. And there's big liquidity right here. There's big liquidity here, but if they were going to come down, they have to come down to this low, which is a big move for that. Like they got to come way, way down for that. And I think that there's enough liquidity on the structure here that they might just sweep that, right? Yeah, I built Striker. I built Striker. I built this. This is a 2-year project for me. Of course, I look at Striker levels. I'm a big believer of when I'm teaching a system to not overwhelm the information and deviate from the purpose of this event, right? Like if I'm going to run a live room and do a bunch of things, sure, I'll pop the striker levels on there. That'll never hurt me because I know where the option hedge levels are, right? And that's a very powerful thing to know. But it's also not the purpose of this workshop, right? So for me to sit there and start adding a whole bunch of different stuff and deviate from that focus, it's just not really good temperament for the audience. Right now, I'm not ready to take a trade. I'm just preparing myself because the market has given me no reason to take a trade anything yet. There is no reason for me to take a trade ever, except when the market decides to show me a pullback. And there's no pullback yet. We are still there, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion, if you look here, okay, this is a manipulation move off the open. Okay, how do I know that? Well, the 15-minute chart is about 20% of the daily ATR. Okay, so whenever I see big opening ranges like that, okay, I anticipate for them to manipulate the herd and then trade it back inside to the other side. How do I know that? Well, we're in an uptrend for sure. But there's certain things that have to happen in order for me to see that. I haven't seen a close inside yet. We're still building a position. You see the bars like this going up and down? You see the wicks? What do you think's happening there? They're making a lot of money. They haven't made the money yet. They're preparing to make a lot of money by building big, 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 big business. And then eventually that's got to go somewhere, right? Or nobody's making any money. So they got to fill lots of orders. And so what we're going to do is we're going to wait, right, for a blue candle and get the signal on the 5-minute. Ay, pinche blanco. Anybody in here that speaks Spanish knows what that means. We will get a blue candle and we should get a trade here. See if we get it on this. Not yet, not happening. If we get a blue candle here, we'll get a signal. That's the 2-minute. Let's go back to the 5-minute. Let's wait and see here. And we will wait and see. Jeff, do you know if there's a delay? Like if the candle closes in and it's not oversold, will it trigger the signal or does it have to be still in an oversold position with blue at the same time? Do you know that? I don't know how the logic was coded. I'm not sure if Jeff heard me or not. So this is a favorably looking bar here. This is this bar is starting to show me what I was expecting. Now look, we're oversold here. See that? That 15-minute candle dropped back down to an oversold position, right? So it just took one candle to get us back down to that other spot, right? So it's not a big deal. We'll see. It takes 4 minutes for this candle to close, and we'll determine if we're going to get a signal or not. Mm-hmm. 4 minutes will determine if we get a signal here. Jason, yeah, still thinking Jason's of the it's going lower still. Let's start betting on Kalshi. Let's see, 50-50 here. Who wants to put money on it that's going lower? Who wants to put money on that's going higher, right? We will see. And this is the best part about having a trading system that provides the signals. You don't have to do anything. If you can't sit here and talk to yourself, put on some music, maybe do some push-ups, do some Zen, whatever it takes to get you going. But you don't need to have the finger clickety clicking on the mouse all the time. That's the whole point. That's why traders don't make any freaking money. Right? That's why people just sit there and they just don't do anything positive for their bank account. Right? Like the system will give you the signal when it's time to take the trade. That's the best part of this strategy is that it is designed to give you clean pullback trades when the trend and the oscillators line up and the bars give you the reason to enter the trade. Like this is not some random strategy that you just, oh, let's just slap a bunch of stuff. This has been calculated for months. I have studied this. I have years of back testing on this strategy. Years, not days, not months, years, up to 3 years of data that shows the 5 and the 15-minute chart. There they did. They just swept the Globex low. You see that? To the tick. They just came right down to the Globex low and ran stops right there. That's what happened. So we're going to see if it wants to keep going lower, right? We will get a signal on the 2 minute. We will get a signal on the 2 minute, but I am not taking that short. You want to know why? Because I got the 5 and the 15 still strong up. And that tells me something. That tells me a lot. If the 15 minutes in a strong uptrend, I will not be selling the 2 minute chart. Not a chance. There's an opportunity for a 5 minute trade and a 15-minute trade brewing here. Now we're going to see how that works. Remember Berzin and Jason or Jeff yesterday? We don't see a higher high and a higher close. And that's what we're talking about, right? You get a close inside, but you don't get a higher high or a higher close, right? It closes back out, right? So I think they're going to manipulate down a bit, and I think they're going to manipulate down a bit. We've already built it in algo, Steve. So where do you think the signal system came from? I didn't just put a bunch of buy and sell signals on the chart hoping to make some money. We coded the algo a long time ago and ran tests on it for weeks before I ever decided to build the indicator. I needed to know the strategy was profitable before I want to even entertain coding the indicator for signals for discretionary trading, right? And if the market decides to trade lower, we switch hats and we become short sellers, if that's the case, right? But there's no reason to short anything on the scalp time frame. There's no reason to take any trades here on the buy, right? But I do think we're going to get a trade on the 5 minute soon if this turns blue. But we got time, guys. We got time. And for those of you that don't know what the hell I'm talking about, all of the notes are inside of the document here that I gave everybody, right? Here's where you can buy the product, right? Here's where you can learn the tool. Here's my rules on time frames, right? If I'm entering on these, you don't need to use a higher time frame, but it's only going to help you if you want to reduce the trades, right? You can choose these EMAs as well. I'm using these right now. I'm using this. It's just whatever works for your decision for trend. I mean, it's not going to change. You're just going to get different results with different settings, right? Sure, you can do it manually. You could trade this manually here if you chose to, using these types of candles, et cetera, right? Remember, like if you look at the hourly is still down. They might be dropping it lower, but I still think that the market will tell us what it wants to do here. Yeah, the 5 minute is scalping. Yeah, the 5 minute is 5 and 2 is I consider a scalp time frame a 2 minute. I consider a day trading time frame a 5 minute, and I consider an intraday swing trade on the 15 minute. Yeah. Anything above 15 minute is you're in swing trade territory. Yeah. And that's my perspective, Daniel, right? You might say, well, that's crazy. I like an hourly as a swing trade. I was like, okay, well, there you go. Trading is not about being right. It's about finding your groove in it and just using things that work and make you money. But one thing I do know about trading that everybody knows is if they keep the market in one area for a certain period of time, it's because they're building a big bloody position. And it takes a lot of fuel to move a big move. So they got to offload or onload, right? And so they're doing a lot of business. They're holding it here, right? And then something's going to happen. And they're either going to drop it huge. Yeah, it's a ticking time bomb is what it is. And when you start seeing these candles, yeah, prep for upcoming earnings. Could be that stocks didn't have anything exciting today that aren't moving the market fast or whatever. However, if they're going to drive down and they're going to keep trading lower, well, we're going to wait for a buy signal. Those EMAs are still very strong up. But if those EMAs cross, that's a different story. We look at shorting, right? The 2 minutes already traded down into a downtrend. It's made lower lows. It's just we're still sitting on the Globex low. You can't ignore that, right? Like, what are they doing on the Globex low? Taking stops, right? They're sweeping stops. So if the buyers are going to step in and this market's going to get bullish, we'll see the move to the upside. If indeed they're building money to distribute and actually take the market lower, we'll see the downtrend happen first on the 2 minute chart. You'll get a chance to short the 2 minute. Then the 5 minute will kick in. You get a chance to short the 5 minute, and then eventually get a chance to short the 15. You're not gonna be trading the 15 short first. I can promise you that. It moves 2 minutes first, then 5 minutes, and 15. It works from the smaller time frame to the medium time frame to the big time frame. That's how it's going to rotation. So, and we still have, time. It's only been 30 minutes. Yeah, so if you want to be a part of if you're trying to figure out like a permanent, like if you want to be a part of like what we do, anybody in here that is doesn't have a trade room, doesn't have a home, doesn't have anywhere to like really learn from good traders, we have the syndicate programs. The syndicate programs are everything for us. It's if you go to tickblaze.com, you go over here to the syndicates. This is for the discretionary traders. So I'm gonna give you this. Take a look at this. For those of you that are looking to seriously change your life, book a call with Jason. He'll definitely get with you. He's the real deal, man. You're gonna meet with Jason. No one better to help you figure out your goals and figure out how to help you. Anybody here that's looking to join our discretionary program? This is for the discretionary program. This is for anybody that wants to trade these strategies or the other strategies, and you can go down and read this, right? And anybody that's in the alpha trading syndicates does not have to buy any of our software in the marketplace. It's all included. So it's just important to know, right? If you're looking for a home, Robert, yeah, we have a trade room running full time every single day. I do the workshops, I do boot camps, right? I don't run the trade rooms. I have instructors for the trading rooms. Burzin is launching the AQS program this afternoon. How many of you guys are going to the AQS launch? This is the biggest launch in the history of our company, I think, because nowhere have we ever had a quant program in the industry of trading. I've never seen in a company put together an algo program that is at any capacity of what we do. We are the biggest algo developer in the world. on trading platforms, literally in the world. Our team has built more automated trading robots than any other business in the industry on NinjaTrader, on Tickblaze, on TradingView, period. There's a few others that have some algos out there, but it's not even compare. There's no comparison. No comparison to what we done. And what we did, I'll tell you guys later, but you guys got to be at the event. This is going to be a big one. I'm going to be doing that this afternoon here. And it's a game changer. It'll change your life. It'll change your, if you want to run algos, you'll never have to optimize another strategy in the rest of your history. You can literally just get up and trade the stuff we build every single day. We put it out for you guys. We have an entire team in the back end doing it now. For years, traders were asking us, hey, can you put together a service where you optimize the templates for us and just give us the best of the best? And it's a lot of work to build something like that. And yes, AQS works on cash accounts, on prop accounts. It's designed for anything. Yes. So they're really opening weird. This is a really weird open, right? It's a really weird open. They're probing down, right? Probing low. They'll show us what they want to do, right? They'll show us like they're building a big position. See that on the 15-minute? You can see it on the 15-minute, right? They're coming down slowly, coming down slowly. They had to take out all the liquidity. Think about this, right? There's a level here, and then there's a level here, right? So there's all this liquidity here, stop losses, and then there's the Globex low. So there's a whole lot of business down here that they can fuel, and the 15 minutes now oversold. So what'll likely happen is if they're planning on driving it higher, this is where we're going to see it start. If they're not, they're going to start dropping this market, and we're going to start seeing a downtrend happen, and maybe that's the end of the uptrend for this time frame for a bit, right? But like I said, take a look at the price action for a second. Like just if you just sometimes just go back to basics. If you're like, what do you think's going to happen? Well, impulse move up, pullback, consolidation, impulse move up, higher high, rotation pullback. They just grabbed some liquidity off these lows, right? That's what they did. Grabbed a little bit more liquidity and their impulse move up. I don't know about you, but that's a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. They're starting to move into an uptrend, right? On the 15-minute chart. So just because they're playing with you here off the open, it don't mean nothing. Give it time. This 5-minute chart's getting ready to give us a trade. I just hope that they're done. I hope that they're done trying to sweep the orders. And that's why I use Heiken Ashi candles. Because if we were just using regular bars, you would have got faked out on this black candle. You see this? You would have got faked out right here. Think, oh, they made a higher high, then they closed higher close. No, that's not a buy signal here yet. Right? That's not a buy signal. They're going to sweep the highs. They close up here. That'll be a different story. But that's where it is. There it is. There's the 5-minute candle. Let's take a look. Not a blue candle yet. You see how the Heiken Ashi works? On a regular time chart, you see a buy candle. But that's the problem with regular time charts. That's why we're not using time bars. We're using Heiken Ashi bars. They're driven from time, but there's no story here that tells me the story I need, right? So I wait for the buy signal. I wait for the blue candle. And if they don't give it to me, and if the 5-minute crosses down, well, then they weren't ready to go higher. They are trading lower off the open, right? And you can see there's no reason to even get into a trade. There's no trade pullback yet. You say, well, God, I've been sitting here for 30 minutes. Who gives a shit? You didn't lose any money, right? Wait. Patience is key. If this trend really starts getting strong, that'll be the cue that maybe they are going to drop it today. Maybe they want to take it lower. Maybe they're, you know, yeah, not being in the market is a good decision sometimes. But you can't make money if you're not in the market. So you gotta get in the market, make money. You just gotta make sure you're at the market at the right time. There's a chance. Exactly. There's a chance. We still have a bit of time, guys. We got a couple minutes here before we still have a few more minutes before this trades all the way back up. We still have a few minutes before we even get a signal here. We definitely got a few minutes before we get a signal here, right? So if you guys want, let's just fill the coffee real quick. And I am going to be right back. Okay, give me 1 second. Just going to grab a quick coffee. Be right back. All right, let's see what's going on here. We'll see what we got cooking on the 5 minute. There's the trade. We can get into the trade now. There's the trade right now. We can just buy. I'm gonna buy 4 contracts here. I'm just let's see here. We got a good entry. That'll give me a good entry here, and I can buy at the bid. That's 4. right? My stop loss is a little bit tight there. It's 260. The volatility is a bit bigger. 260, right? And we'll see what happens here, right? If this is going to truly go back in, right? Well, there's the signal. The 15 minute didn't give the trade yet, but if it closes up, you'll get the trade on the 15 minute as well. So I'm going to get long here, and hopefully this will be the rotation up. Like I said, if it's not, it'll drop down, stop me out, and then I'll get into another trade, or the 15 minute will kick in, and then this will really rock up. But if you look at the other chart, we did a higher high and a higher close. And I think that this is the true story of what's going to happen. I think they're going to drive this back up. They should. Exactly. Yeah, I got this. Price is poised to run higher. It is exactly sharpshooter. It's price is showing the right strategy, and it's just takes time. Now that I'm in the trade, let's calculate the stop. 250. Technically, my stop should be about 500, right? Just two times the ATR. You don't have to do two times the ATR, but it gives you a good wiggle room. They're not going to come and sweep you out. Sometimes the market, Nasdaq's notorious for coming down, sweeping, everybody stop, and then probing up again. That's just what the Nasdaq does. And so that's why I never use structure as a stop. I always use volatility as a stop. I always use volatility as a stop. Now, that also requires a bigger target. Well, you can, at any time, you can move your stop to break even and you can have no risk, right? So I'm going to keep it to 400, which is what I positioned my trade to be. That's just a one-to-one all the way to the highs. You can let it play, right? There you go. Now we're sitting here and waiting our patience. You say, but Sean, the 2 minute cross down. Okay. 2 minute cross down. So what? So if this gives me a short, okay, this gives me a short, it's against the 15-minute trend. It's against the 5 minute trend, right? These will cross over before the other trades will cross over, but that doesn't mean anything. You could get a short signal here, but I think they're going to keep trading higher bars. Like the only way you would get a short signal on the 2 minute is if it kept going higher and then went lower again. I just don't, I don't see that happening. I feel like the 15-minute candle is they're manipulating down, grabbing as much liquidity to go higher. If this candle closes higher on the 15-minute chart, well, that's a really, really good sign because that's when you know the Heiken Ashi is really bullish on the 15-minute chart. And we'll see. Like I said, the 5 minutes my go-to time frame. I trade the 5 minute a lot, right? A lot. Everybody learn from that. Everybody understanding how we're waiting. We waited for the uptrend. So step number one is the EMAs, right? EMA. So first you get your EMAs, right? Then you get your RSI. Then get your Heiken Ashi. And you know, that's what we're doing. We're going to give it time. Type of why that everybody understood this. Anybody else in this trade with me? I don't know what you guys are doing, but we'll see if you guys are in it or in it to win it. And you might be trading with 10 copiers or 5 copiers or whatever you're doing. And, maybe you take a base hit, 200 profit, 300 profit, whatever you decide to do, hold for the bigger move. There's a good chance because of the strength of the 15-minute chart, like those EMAs are so far apart, right? That we're going to get the signal here. Like I said, I do believe that if this closes back up on the 15-minute, you're going to get the buy signal on the 15-minute, which will give you the swing trade. But what really, really tells me this chart's going higher is that on the real candles, I got a higher high and a higher close back to back inside that opening range, which normally means this was manipulation. They drove it down to get all the liquidity, and they're going to drive it all the way back up, which will give us a big trade. Yeah, that's probably a value area low, right? You grab I don't need to draw a profile. I can take a profile from the Globex, just show you right here, just right to that. And you can see that's the value area low. They came down, they accumulated at value area low in a D-shaped distribution, and they're going to probe in rotation on that trade. But All I want to do is I just want to use the signal system. Like the signal system does it all for me. I don't need to sit here and do anything. I just wait for the market to print the trade. Like the software gives you everything. You don't need to do anything. You just have to be able to remember what it's doing, why it's doing it, and have a little bit of common sense of like how the market works. They take the lows, they need liquidity, that type of stuff. But everything else is red light, green light for you. We built this indicator to be able to do that. It's an incredible trading system. Incredible trading system. And it's easy. You know, there's a lot of complicated shit out there. I don't like complicated. I don't do complicated. I did complicated for years. I got tired of complicated. I like making money simple. I like make money in a way where it makes common sense. You know, you get all these guys drawing all these lines. You got four fucking time frames, and I got an order block here, and I got a sweep here. I inverted this, and I got inverted that. And it's like, what the hell is he? I'm just waiting for a pullback, right? Like, exactly. And look at the move. Our bar was the beginning of the big push. How can you not tell me that that's not as clean as entry you could get? Took no heat on the trade. I can now move my stop in, right? And I can see what the risk reward would be on the trade. I just hit a 1-to-1 target on that, right? I could drag that out. I can move my stop to break even. I was going to go this, break even, cover that. And then what I can do is I can take two off here. I'm going to sell at the ask. So I just took half my position off, right? And then I can basically let the rest ride. I could put one here, see if they want to take the rest. Then I can leave one on for a runner. Sharpshooter, buddy. Teamwork, man. I know you're an ES trader, but you're probably learning a lot from what we were just doing here, right? The timing, the rotation. You know what you're doing, though. You've been trading long enough to know what you're doing. Right? Always a student of the market. Always a student of the market. That's the way I see it. So I like to peel off some targets. I like to take some profits because you never know what the market's going to do, right? But I know I'm not losing any money here. And the 15-minute is about getting ready to give us the signal. So the swing trade's kicking in. And guess what? When the swing trade kicks in, guess what we expect? Bigger moves, bigger follow through normally, right? So that'll be the swing trade on the 15-minute. And when that kicks in, shit, we're moving to the upside, which means I want to take a target at the value at the top of the opening range. I want to leave a runner on for that trade because I'm expecting the market to trend higher today, but we are in a D-shaped distribution from the overnight session, so they might just take it to the Globex high and then stay here today. We don't know this yet. And take a look. You would not get the 2-minute signal if the markets were not trending. You understand that? They just keep going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and that's why I don't use the 2-minute if the other time frames are not in alignment. Daniel says, amazing system, amazing instructor. Appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. Thank you, Daniel. Been doing this a long time. Helps that I'm feeling better, though. I was feeling like shit last week. Jesus. Feels like forever, though, doesn't it, Sean? It really does, brother. It really does. Right. Now, this is a great strategy for prop firm accounts. This is a great strategy for, doing these types of things, right? Trading for prop firms and doing that. Bless you, Myanmar. So what's nice is you're seeing the Heiken Ashi candle staying, right? Staying strong on those bars, right? What you don't want is a bunch of big wicks. When you start seeing a bunch of these big wicks staying like this, I don't want to see this become a big wick again. If that's becoming a big wick again, then they're not really moving as fast as I'd like. But I do think they have to go here. Like this is a big position they just built. Did you see how long it took to do all those orders? And then when the supply gave out, it just starts moving really quickly. You notice that? But the system doesn't need the whole consolidation. You can come down here, push, get a signal, target. Come down, push, get a signal, target. Come down, big consolidation because the market just opened, but target, right? That's all that matters. That's why I love trading this way because I just believe in it. I I I believe in it because I have years of data that tells me that it makes me a lot of money. But I don't take every trade like an algo. I trade it when I know I'm going to get the best trades. But the algo will kill it. Like the algo, you can find best settings on any time frame. When you have the algo, you can use it on figure out which EMAs work best, which indicator settings works best with each time frame, right? And that's what I like to do. That's how I figured out using the 15 and the 100 is just because the algo told me that it was the best settings. Who would have thought a 15 period EMA and a 100? I've never used a 15 period and a 100 in my entire life. Everybody's used to using a 20 and a 50 or a 50 and a 100 or whatever. But that's what everybody does, right? And then you use an algo and it tells you, hey, look at this. And it's like, got to be willing to be able to open your mind to bigger and better things, right? Yeah. Would you review your higher time frame? Yeah, well, I'm not using higher time frame signals on this one, Phil. So if you look here, I have them turned off. Yeah, because it's too much. I don't want to be taking two sets of signals. Preferably, I use just a smaller time frame signals and I look at a higher time frame chart, right? Like if I'm on a 5 minute uptrend, right? If I'm in a 5 minute uptrend, normally I'm going to be using like the hourly to see where I'm at. I'm going to look at structure on the hourly, but you don't necessarily need it. Like it's only going to reduce your trades and it's only going to just add a level of complexity. Like if you notice, I didn't use a higher time frame for this. We went to the 15 minute, right? And the 15 minute gave the trigger, right? The 15 minute gave the signal. So you can take a look at that. And that's where the swing traders are going to start getting in here now. The 15 minutes clearing in gave us the pullback that it needed, right? And you can see that the last 15 minutes that gave us the signal here, 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 they all hit targets. Every single signal last night on the 15-minute chart in the Globex session hit targets. So now let's drive where we are here. Let's draw a profile just so you can see, because I do believe in auction theory a lot. I do believe that profiles are very important, right? And but we are now trading much higher than the you know we're trading much higher than the value area high, and they're gonna. I mean, they have to try to take out the opening range high. Like there has to be an attempt for the opening range. Like that's normally what happens, right? They're building a big position up here, and this is a P-shaped distribution. If you look at it from the overnight or from yesterday's close, that's a P-shaped distribution, which is a trending market. A P-shaped distribution gives you this. It's a multimodal because you have volume here and you have volume here, but you have a big P, right? Like look at the volume here, which is a trending market, which means they're probably going to take out the highs, right? Don't be afraid to give it some time to make you the money. You sat there waiting for freaking time to get in. You got to sit there and wait for time for the trade to work. But if you're using the wrong strategy, you get stopped out all the time and there's no fucking patience nobody's got patience when you're getting stopped out and losing a shitload of money, right? But if you use the right system, you have the right method and you have the right teachers and you have the right people that care about you succeeding, sky's the limits, man. Sky's the limits. You just got to believe in what you're doing. Just got to believe in everything. Do it for the right reasons. Make sure that you're not sitting there trying to rush the process. Be grateful for the journey. You can bump the trailing stop up. You can trail the bar behind, right? You can trail like that. You can put it here if you choose. Nothing wrong with that, Nick. Nothing wrong with locking in more profits, right? It's your call. If I look at the 2 minute, like the 2 minute, you can see the 2 minutes getting a bunch of wicks up here, but we're coming up to the value area high. Yeah. Well, and then if you over tighten and then it comes down and kicks you out before the big move happens, we just lost the opportunity that you sat for all morning, right? So I don't like to do that. Like I like to sit, I need to give it breathing room because I already peeled off 50% of my position. If I really started feeling nervous about the trade, I just do this, sell another contract, and then I just leave this. And then I've just now banked even more money, right? And I'm just letting it run. You understand what I just did there? Right. And so that trade, if I look at just the positions from that trade, right? I made $480, right? $480 on that trade, right? And I can literally just let it go and do whatever I need it to now. I can just let it trade all the way up and do whatever I need to do, right? So that's a $500 day, one trade, easy. And that's a 5 minute chart. But I think the 15 minutes kicking in, right? So when the 15-minute kicks in, there's often a lot bigger move coming. So that's why I'm trying to teach you that you can give it time. We sat for 15, 30, 45, 1 hour before we got the big trade signal. So banks need time. Do you add to your position? You could, right? Since this is the 15-minute signal, the swing traders are just getting in here off this trade, right? If you're trading the 15-minute, right, the swing traders will wait for a bit of a pullback here, get in someplace here for the long, and they'll ride it up. But you got to remember that is a different trade. So what you do is you do not want to confuse. Don't confuse, right? Don't confuse I'm going to move this back down because I don't want to get kicked out for whatever reason, unless it's, if that's the end of the move today, well, then that's the end of the move, right? But the point of the matter is that if the move is going to continue, right, you got to let it breathe to continue. And if you do add to your position, you best be making sure that you're placing your stops in the right section. It's a separate trade. Whenever you add to a trade, you're basically assuming a different trade. It's a different trade, right? But this is a great trade. It's great. Everything that we talked about this morning did exactly like we said it was going to do. And it was just a great opportunity to you can trade how much size you want. That can be a $500 trade or that could be a $5,000 trade. It's all relative to how much size you trade. It's not about how much money you make. It's about the process, right? Did everybody learn from that? That the whole point of this workshop is not to just sell you software. It's to show you that you've got an opportunity here to really, uh, right, to learn something big. We're still having blue candles. No reason to get nervous here. But if we start getting white candles, then this trade might be over, right? If it's just going to stay inside the 15-minute range today, we never know. But that's why I like to use Heiken Ashi candles because I don't have a reason to get out of this trade yet. I don't have anything scaring me. I don't have anything that's telling me that this trade's over. But the pace is definitely slower, right? The pace is definitely slower. Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. Take a look at the 2 minute. 2 minutes in an uptrend again. And technically, what'll happen when the 2 minute closes back into an uptrend, okay, we're oscillating. So we're definitely in a range bound market right now. And this is the range realistically, right? Because that was the high that crossed over. This is the low that crossed over. So this is the range. We're in a range bound market today. So as a trend trader, and you can see that we're oscillating, That's when you understand maybe you're not getting much follow through today, but you might. And there might be another 2 minute trade that pulls back down. You get a pullback here when this uptrend started, and that might be what kicks in. It might need the 2 minute to come down. We'll get stopped out if that happens, but they'll come down in here and give an oversold position. And then you get another 2 minute opportunity to scalp for the next push to the highs. And maybe it needs that. Maybe it needs a bit more fuel to do that. Who knows? Nobody knows, right? But I took off two-thirds of my position at the best place I could. Send an email in, William, and I can get the guys to send it to you. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah, anybody that is here will get this recording. Um, that's the key. Or I'm not sure how that's working. I think you have to buy the software to get the packages and the discounts and all that stuff. I'm not sure how they have it set up. You might have to buy it. You might have to buy the indicator signals. The way that the situation's set up on the back end, it's in the members area for where the software is, and so not sure, Joe. But it's only $500 for a career worth of trade systems, right? This is 495 bucks for everything that we just did. I made that in one trade. One trade paid for this entire system. It's a steal of a deal, right? And it's just this. And right. Exactly, Jason. Yeah, it's exactly. I've been trading a long time. So there's a lot that goes into this. A lot of the notes that we took yesterday, a lot of the stuff that we talked about. The main overview of the strategy is here, why we're using the tools that we use and what they're for and this. But just using this tool, and it's a great tool to trade with, right? And I think they're going to try to take out the highs. I think they're going up. Have to believe in that. Yeah, I can do that. Share the link for the doc. It's in the chat box here if you just scroll up as well, but somewhere way up there. There it is. And it's got the, if you go here to the second page, right, there's the purchase information as well on both those pages. You guys can take advantage of that. There's no coupon. There's no coupon. But that's a good place to move the stop to, right? Because they just came down, hit that EMA. Now they're pushing higher. So now I could trail my stop there. It's a good spot for it. You see, if I would have moved my stop too soon, they would have tagged me out. They would have tagged me out. 15 minutes kicking in though, guys. Like I said, the 15-minute gave the signal. That's powerful information. That's a powerful information, right? Very powerful information. And there she goes. The swing trade is now kicking in. Right. Couldn't have done it any better, guys. Like even yesterday's trades worked, today's trades worked. This system just makes money. Like that's why I wanted to do a workshop on it. So let's run a poll here, guys, so that I can get some information from you guys so my team can help you guys. It's really about helping you guys. So give me a second. Just gonna delete a bunch of these polls so I can understand it. Bear with me here, guys. Okay. Bear with me here. I'm just going to run a poll and create it. Hmm. So what I'm going to do, just going to edit this. Give me 1 second, guys. Well, I'm just letting this run, guys. Giving it time to move. Hey, thanks, Jason. Yeah, it is a great trade. Yeah. I'm going to add another tr question here. So here's what I need you guys to do is we're going to run a poll so that you can tell me if you're purchasing the software. There's a reason I'm asking this because we have resources that we have built to essentially give you discounts, coupons, desktops, templates, recordings, that type of stuff. And then if you need help, um, basically put your phone number in the blank, right? Put your phone number in the blank uh, number. Under it says call me. Put your phone number in the blank if you need help from Jason. But if you are buying the system, remember if you're a ATS member, you don't have to buy this. You already get it. It's part of the perks of being in the ATS program. You don't have to buy indicators because the program costs a lot already, right? However, if you're not an ATS member and you would like the software, please put yes. Everybody that is buying today, it's the last day for the discount because we ran it over a 2-day workshop. Please put it in the chat box, yes. And if you need help from Jason, please put your phone number under the call me section. So that way we know we can call you, right? And he will call you. But please do me a favor and answer the poll. If you're an investor, you don't need to buy it, or if you're in the ATS, you don't need to buy it. But anybody else outside of those people here, we've got a lot of traders in here today. Um, yeah, that's the important part. We need to know so that we can provide you with the right resources and Jason can help you, right? We can send you the right things in the download section. Make sense, everybody? We're coming to the end of this class. Once this trade is moving up or down, we'll see what happens. And Yeah, that way we can send you the right information, right? We can get you help. You don't need to trade a lot of markets. You just need to trade one market and do very good with one market. You just need the right strategy. You also believe in what you're doing, right? I know I believe in what I'm doing because I built this and I understand it and I just know what it does, right? You can see, I mean, every single trade since the Globex Open made targets just on this settings alone, right? Now, will you not get a stop out? No, you get a stop out once in a while, yeah. But if you understand volatility and you understand the ATR, you don't need to worry about those things too much, right? If you put your stops in the wrong place, you're going to get smoked. Please do me a favor and answer the poll. As many of you guys that are in here, if you're in the ATS or if you're an investor, you do not have to answer because you already get it. But if you're not in the ATS program and you're not an investor in the company, please um, put a yes or a no. And if you need help, put your phone number into the second number, right? If you need a call back, put your phone number in there, right? Put your name, put your phone number, whatever you need to do. To fill in the blank, right? You can put your name and your phone number. I'm not sure if the replay is available for everybody, Joe. I think it's for everybody that it gets the software. That was the purpose of the boot camp. The workshop is to give a whole bunch of free training to everybody, right? No, I mean, just because you buy an account with a prop firm doesn't mean Tickblaze gives you all the software. No, that's unfortunately, we would be out of business if that happened, Nicholas. We need to be able to put some food on the table and keep the lights on in the company, kind of speak, right? It's only 4.95. Yeah, it's down. It's a discount. It's like 90% off. It's right here. It's a huge discount. Regularly 12.95, right? Regular price. The retail value before any discounts on any system that we build, a full-blown trading system is close to 5 grand. However, we drop the price so people can afford the things that we build. And then when we do these types of events, we drop it even more. So these are the times where you get the best deals. When we do the boot camps, we do the workshops, these types of things. It's the best time for this, right? And so offer will expire after this class is over, right? So what I'll do is I'll give you the document so that you can take advantage of the system. That's the whole point of this. You'll see here there's a link. You just click on this link and you can buy it. And then all the notes for the strategy are here. And then when you create an account, you buy it, right? You click on that link and it goes to the order form, right? You can purchase it. You'll have to create an account to purchase. So make sure you have an account with Tickblaze. If you don't, you'll have to sign up. Tickblaze is free. You download Tickblaze for free. You just got to pay for market data or get it, or go to one of our partner prop firms. We work with a bunch of prop firms. And if you buy prop firm accounts, right, you guys get the data from the prop firm. So you don't have to buy the data, right? But we don't charge for the platform yet. We're thinking about doing that in the future, moving it to a paid platform. But right now, most of the prop firms provide it to you for free. So that's why this is such a steal of a deal, right? The cost of data for Tickblaze is we've got 7 partners that provide data. No, this is a one-time purchase, Catalan. You don't pay annually. The only thing that we do is we charge a maintenance fee for the marketplace. So if you go to tickblaze.com, if you go to Tickblaze, you'll see that we have an app store. The marketplace has all the apps, right? So all these apps, you can get all the free stuff. There's free algos, free indicators, etc. But this is a premium product, right? So if you click here, you go to premium indicators and strategies, you type in HATT, right? It's not there yet, right? No products because we haven't finished the boot camp yet. It will be there soon, right? So all of these are apps, right? So what we do is everybody that buys apps, we don't charge you monthly, we don't charge you annually, we don't do all these expensive things like everybody else, but we do charge a maintenance fee for the marketplace because most traders have 5, 6, 7 apps from the store. So what we do is we charge a maintenance fee every year to keep all of the bugs fixed and all of the platform up to date and all that, which is very reasonable. It's kind of normal in companies. Like I have a subscription for Canva, I have a subscription for Snagit. You buy the software and then you pay the maintenance fee, right? And that's just how software companies operate, right? So we're starting to stall out up here, right? And that's what I said at the value area high, right? At the value area high, we're starting to stall out. And we're getting divergence on the 5 minute chart, and we're in a D-shaped distribution. This might be a range bound day for all we know, right? But I've got my stop in the right place, and I've already made a bunch of money on the day, so it's a great morning. Yeah, you can purchase anytime during the day, Brian. It's available all day today. Today's the last day for this. Yeah. And I promise you, this will be in the ATS program for those of you that are like in the ATS and you're wondering, well, hey, well, what about us guys? Yeah, it's coming in there. Jeff's going to be learning it. He's going to be watching the videos. It's pretty straightforward. And we already built the algo, Chris. Is any plan for the HATT system algo? Yeah, we're launching it in a couple weeks. And it'll also be included in the AQS program. So anybody that actually buys the AQS, um, you'll just get it. So don't buy any algos until you come to the event this afternoon. Like if you're thinking like a smart per people, like I know all of you are, you're all intelligent. We're launching the biggest algo program the industry has ever seen today. We have an algo trading room going live next Monday, full time, just like the other programs. We have an algo quant testing team. We've got several people with years of quant experience that are building and testing all the algos for you guys, providing you the templates every single week for the trading room, ongoing, where we optimize the systems every single week so that you guys don't have to do any work. Like this is a gift from God, right? Like I had to build it because I've been building algos for, I don't know, 4 years. I've built over 100 automated systems, largest quant developer in the industry by a landslide. And the biggest pain point with algos and everybody is that everybody doesn't like to optimize because they don't know what to do or they don't know how to do it. Everybody just wants to buy an algo, buy an ATM machine, right? And then print me money is what you're wanting, right? Algos can do that, but there's a lot of ways to use an algo. You can use them in a semi-discretionary way, a fully automated way, etc. And today, for the very first time, we've been building the Alpha Quant Syndicate, and it's you can do everything. Yeah, entry only, fully entry exit, sharpshooter. You can do a lot with an algo, right? The biggest problem with algo traders is that nobody has time to optimize. Like it's a career to be optimizing trading systems. Like if you're going to buy automated systems, just to sit there and run algos, and I've got guys that I pay a full-time salary. That's their job is from 9 in the morning till 6 at night, right? Like you're just a slave to the optimization because you're always looking for the best settings, right? You're always, I want the algo to make me the most money, right? It's an addiction, to be truly honest with you. It takes your life. It's time consuming. And so I hired staff. I brought in teams. I said, we have to build this. And the industry needs this drastically because I've got traders all over the world buying automated systems, and everybody's complaining that we don't have a program in place to help them. Well, we have it now, and it took a lot of our staff to build this. It was not, didn't come lightly, I can tell you that. So just believe that something revolutionary is coming today, and it is going to change the industry for algo trading. It is a game changer, and it's the first ever in the industry that I've ever seen, like ever. And I've been in this place for 15 years. Well, that's a lie, probably 12, since 2015. And we're 2026. That's 11. My mistake. Yeah. 11 years I've been doing this full time. Yeah, no, this indicator is not what I'm talking about, Pancheco. So if you're wanting this is not part of that. I'm just saying for the algos or anybody here that trades automated systems. Like if you want this system is in the Alpha Trading Syndicate, the ATS. But if you're a quant trader, you want to be in the afternoon's event. Or if you're interested in automated trading, you definitely want to be in the afternoon event. Yeah. Makes sense, traders? Listen, I want to thank you guys for being with me. And I think they're offloading up here. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars sitting here. There's a good chance that this is the top of the range for the day. And they may not want to boost it up, right? So you can just pull out and get out, right? Or you can just leave it and just, pay to play. Like I've already taken 3 out of the 4 contracts, right? Do we have a link for the yeah, another banger. Yeah. Can you place the link for HATT? Yeah, for the HATT. Yeah, it's right here. Let's grab it for you guys. So this is the here. It's inside of here, but I'll just grab you this. You need an account with Tickblaze. If you already have an account, this is the direct link to purchase. I mean, 495, guys. I already made that this morning on one trade. I mean, one trade pays for the software, and you got a gift. It's a great trading system. The AQS workshop is this afternoon. Yes. Did you not get an email, Randy? You didn't get any emails for that? Give me a second here. Okay. Thank you guys for filling out the poll. Jason will get in touch with you that are requested callbacks. And a second here. Jason, get with me after. I just downloaded the poll report for you. I'll give it to you after the event. I didn't know I could do that. Found an easier way to help you. I'm going to get the link for today. Give me 1 second, guys. So I'm just going to get you guys the link for this afternoon's webinar. Yeah, they're dropping off. You see that? They're offloading, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars right here, and you can see that. And let's take a look at the 15-minute. It's still strong, 15 minutes strong. But like I said, that's the swing trade, so you got to be willing to hold for a while for that. But it's also a range-bound day. So here's the link for the webinar this afternoon, guys. So that link I just put in there is the link for the webinar. Make sense? And we might, like, look at this. If I drag that down, we might get the pullback here. This is hidden divergence. Look at this. This is a big deal. There could be a big move coming here. Look at this. And you don't rarely get hidden divergence on time charts, right? This is making higher lows, but it's making lower lows here. And if that comes down on that, you're going to get a scalp trade here, which could be the push that takes it for the rest of the day. That could be a good trade, to be truly honest with you guys. Like, I don't know how it's going to play out here. It could just keep dropping for all I know because it's a range-bound market and maybe they take it all the way back down here. Could be. But what I'm seeing right now very rarely happens where I get higher lows, lower lows, and it's coming down to an oversold position. So if this comes back down on the 2-minute, okay, and it gives us the buy signal here, that could be a great scalp. Just keep an eye on that. You know what I'm saying? Very rarely do we get hidden divergence on time charts. We will see. We will see. This is a risk-free trade, and I made a lot of money on that trade already, considering I didn't risk a lot, right? Did everybody enjoy the event? Did everybody have a good time? You like these workshops? So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. Instead of just doing webinars to sell software, whenever we have a launch, I'm just going to trade it with you, show you the things that we do, help you, give back a lot more value, a lot more help. It's just a better way of running a business, better way of helping you guys, better way of just delivering value to the community, right? So I just hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the afternoon. Now, this 2-minute, if we get a buy candle here, a blue candle, there's going to be a buy here, and it's going to probably do a breakout, right? It might be a breakout. This might be a build the position, build the move, add to the position, extend the move. We don't know this. We'll have to see. But it's looking like it's going to do that. It's looking like a big pop's going to happen here on the 2-minute, and you're getting that divergence confirmation, and we're oversold. That's a crazy crazy good pattern, like really good pattern. Yeah. Well, what I'd like to do as well, I'm going to get a link for you guys to do me a favor. I don't ask a lot. I try to give as much as I can, right? I don't believe in asking. I believe in giving. I believe in helping. I'm going to give you a link. If you felt that we did a good job today, or if we felt that we helped you in some way, could you please leave a review on the Trustpilot for the training and the education, right? These types of things. I'm going to drop this here for you now, and that way you can. Yeah, you can just click on the RSI. It's 5 and 14. Like I said, look at the explosion from the divergence. I was telling you, I said I didn't realize that until I dropped down to the 2 minute. You couldn't see it on the 5 because I'm sitting here overbought, right? You're sitting there thinking, well, maybe that's divergence. We're going to get it, but look, they're breaking out. They're pushing high, right? There's the divergence. There's the buy signal. You see that? That's the continuation trade right here. That's the continuation trade on the 2 minute. The 2 minute just gave the scalp signal. So this is where you get in for the scalp if you're looking for a continuation move for a continued trend. But like I told you, like the swing trade's kicking in, guys. What did I tell you? I told you, swing trade's kicking in. Yeah, it's a big move, right? It's a big move. The swing trade kicks in. That's the big trend for the day. 5 minute was the day trade that turned into an amazing run. Look at that. Look at the run that I'm getting on this trade, guys. Look at the profit that I can make. That's just one micro for Christ's sakes. That's almost at $450, right? And this is how you pass evals. This is how you get funded and stay funded. This is how you do big things where you're not sitting there risking too much size, all that stuff, right? It's not necessary. It's not necessary. Look, like I'm making on 4 micros today. Let's just go to positions. So 4 micros, I'm almost up $700, right? That's one third of your objective to pass and get funded, or even get a payout account with a prop firm like Prop Shop or Elite Trader Funding or any of the firms we work with, right? But yeah, it's just a great example of they're breaking out. All right, guys. Listen, if you could go to Trustpilot, leave a review for us, that'd be great. Just Google Tickblaze Trustpilot. You'll be able to leave a review. And yeah, that'd be great. And yeah, you can just Google Trustpilot, Tickblaze, leave a review. Like I'll show you here. Trustpilot, Tickblaze. Yeah, you can just leave a review here and leave a review and that type of stuff or anything like that. I'd appreciate it. It just helps me believe in what we're doing and shows me that we're helping people, right? So, guys, have a fantastic day. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go give my wife a kiss before she goes to work. And yeah, we'll have a great day. Take care, guys. See you this afternoon.